Columbus Blue Jackets hockey on Fox Sports Ohio, brought to you by IGS Energy. Take control of your natural gas and electricity costs and enroll today at IGSenergy.com. By Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. Find a local agent on Nationwide.com. Brought to you by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by Huntington. At Huntington, you can bank like a real fan. Get your Blue Jackets debit card at bluejacketsbanking.com. It's the Jackets on the road for the final game of the regular season tonight. From Sunrise, Florida, the Blue Jackets take on the Florida Panthers, and Sergei Bobrovsky, after a night off last night, returns to the net 4-1-1 in his last 6 games, a 1.80 goals against average, and a .945 save percentage over those last 6 starts. And how about Roberto Luongo, back for a second tour of duty here in Florida, 800th NHL game in Calgary back on the 4th of April, 802 games played coming into this one tonight. That is second active to the only guy ahead of him, Martin Brodeur. Powell and Watson, the referees. Miller, Saracolo, the linesman. Jackets wearing their traveling whites. Panthers in their home reds. And the telecast presented in high definition by Time Warner Cable. Jackets winning the first 2 games in the season series, and they're looking for a sweep here tonight. Kolakov pinned along the boards briefly there by Boone Jenner, who, as we mentioned, had an outstanding game last night in Tampa. A clearing pass for Brad Boyes. Boyes signing just weeks after the second visit between these two teams at Nationwide Arena. An extension. He was an unrestricted free agent. He leads Florida in goals with 20. Far side of the ice, played by Kulikov. Head up, chips it off the boards. Turned over. Matt Calvert carries in with Dubinsky. The Jackets are going to get the first power play. In front, forget the power play. Jackets score on the rush, and it's Cam Atkinson putting it behind Luongo. It's 1-0, 47 seconds in.
Well, this line has played so well together, and you mentioned it, Jeff. There was going to be a delayed penalty. Again, Matt Calvert had the stick knocked out of his hand, but he was able to continue to make that play. He picks up the stick, he kicks it with his skate, back to the stick to Dubinsky. Dubinsky hears Atkinson on that backside, and then with the stick down on the ice, it's into that empty net to make it a 1-0 game.
21st goal of the year for Atkinson. Jackets forcing that turnover. Jody Shelley at ice level. Jody.
Love to see that smile from Cam Atkinson. When he's having fun, it's good for the Jackets.
And he's having fun when he is scoring goals. And he gets the Jackets on the board early here inside the first minute of play. Savard to the right wing feed looking for Atkinson. Jovanovski, long-standing member of this Florida Hockey Club. Of course, he too coming back, signing a free agent contract. Out much of the year with experimental hip surgery. And, of course, saying earlier today, he wants to continue his career beyond this season, missed much of it due to injury. He wants to remain an integral part of this franchise moving forward. In fact, he's hinting that he'd like to remain with the Panthers after his playing career is over.
You remember him coming in as an 18-year-old. He had the luxury to be able to work with the young man. He was doing some player development, and he was one of the hardest young guys. You talk about work ethic. That's what he stood for each and every night.
He was the first overall pick in his draft here as Luongo takes the Nikitin shot and holds on. How about tonight's Toyota Keys presented by your Central Ohio Toyota dealer?
Well, complete the task. The playoffs have been achieved. Now you want to finish the regular season with a little team identity of hard work and playing the right way. Respect the Panther pride. They will be flying tonight. Message sent to all that are in the ice tonight that, hey, it hasn't been good enough all year, but show me in the one last time. That's how you remember. And then total involvement. Use every option with a little bit of emotional tie to be able to finish it off in style with this win. And I think right now, that's again where the Jackets have got started already here in a 1-0 game.
In front, dropped denied. The stick save of Luongo. Moving out of the zone. Florida to the Jackets line and offside. Now the head coach of this Florida Panther franchise taking over from former Blue Jacket Kevin Dineen mid-season. Peter Horachek.
Yeah, Peter, again, still has the interim tag. Nothing has been said. reading some of the comments here this week. He would love to be able to come back and work with some of these young players. The players like him. He's a player's coach. Something that he was able to learn when he was part of the Nashville organization is how to treat people.
The feeling was that he was the X's and O's guys on that staff. Jenner off the wing. Jenner to the front of the net. Luongo makes the stop, and then Jenner tripped up. No call. Left wing. Moving through the neutral zone. Now played by Bobrovsky to the far side. Jack Johnson. Jenner. Johansson. Rink wide for Jack Skilly moving up in the Jackets lineup. Quick shot there by Bjugstad. Blocked and held by Bobrovsky. Well, Dubinsky, Brent Dubinsky picks up the primary assist on that goal by Atkinson, and that makes it point number 50 for Dubinsky. Second time in his career that he's reached the 50-point plateau. Most points of the New York Rangers back in 2010-11, 54 points. Dubinsky dropping it back. Now takes the return feed from David Savard. Right side there for Atkinson. Sam Atkinson works the wall. Getting an arm around him was Jovanovski, and the Jackets will go to the power play. Jovanovski for holding.
Well, that's an automatic. You can see Tom Cowell coming over and showing Eddie Jovanovski what the play will be and the call will be.
Forward penalty number 55 is 2 minutes for holding.
Ken Atkinson goes in on that puck and in, tries to protect it. You'll see it right here. One hand, then the other, and Jovo ends up giving a little bit more than he bargained for.
Little face wash there for Cam Atkinson, who's getting involved early.
Jody, why would the Jackets go 10 games without a power play goal, 0 for 36, and now 11 for the last 31 here?
Well, they might have got a little too fancy and overthought it for a while. Now they're back to basics.
Good point. Here along the boards. The puck swept to the far side. Gudbranson now. The long clearing pass. Jackets break that up. Behind the net and walking out here is Jack Johnson. Johnson amongst the Blue Jacket leaders in power play points. Of course, the leader right there was Newski. Back to Jack Johnson. Drills it wide. Off the backboard. Letestu can't play it. Kulikov rims it around. Jackets continue in the offensive zone. Johansson settles it down. Wisniewski, Johansson. Top of the circle. Save Luongo. All the way back to Wisniewski. James Wisniewski leading the Jackets with a total of 27 power play points. He's amongst the league leaders in that regard. Wisniewski. Johnson. Johansson ripped it wide. Far side of the ice. Puck settled down into the slot. Letestu. Johansson. Healing it back here for Wisniewski. James Wisniewski fires it wide of the net. Jack Johnson peeking in. Able to backhand it ahead. Jenner tried to knock it out of the air. Florida will clear. And with less than a minute left in the Jovanovski penalty, both teams change up here on the fly.
Good zone time by the Jackets. Again, they're able to get some one-timers away. They want to continue to play. Excellent play by Kulikov on that back door. Early in that power play, saved the goal.
Rimmed around the wall. Up high, Feder Tutin deals to Atkinson. Atkinson, the goal line. Dubinsky back to Atkinson. There's Luongo off the chest, up into the equipment, and hangs on for the faceoff.
And Jeff, you were asking what helped the power play. We look at these little direct passes. 1 pass, 2 pass, and maybe 3, and here comes a shot. Nope. Final angle, and then he makes sure he gets that puck through. And that's one thing James Wisniewski has done very well, guys. He's got that hard, big shot, but he's found a way to use that little shot to get through and pass that first defender, or shot blocker, if you will.
20 seconds remain in the Jackets' power play. Their first. Ryan Campbell fights off the check, lifts it up and out. And off the stick of Atkinson, played here by Bobrovsky. I'm talking to Ian Clark at the team hotel here this morning. He talked in terms of Bobrovsky needing that day off mentally yesterday. And of course, even though he was off, he worked on a number of things. A long practice in Tampa. Refreshed today, gets the start, and prepares for the postseason. Here is Savard. Long shot, and that's high and wide. Dubinsky back at full strength. Jovanovski back on the ice. Puck played there by Atkinson. 5.5 minutes plus gone here in the opening period. Bergenheim looking. Picked up here by Scotty Upshall, who had a brief tour of duty with the Blue Jackets, jersey number 19, to lead Florida in scoring. Upshall and Bergenheim both camp behind the net. Artem Anisimov. On here for Como. Como across the line. Como on the off wing. Lets one fly, and Luongo, who's in a bit of a shooting gallery here in the opening period.
Right, good job by Como. A little toe drag coming off of that wing. Got a little mustard on it. Better save there by Luongo.
Jackets out shooting. Florida 9-1. Far side of the ice. Comes near side here for Nikitin, who gets back into the lineup. Jackets tonight getting a couple of defensemen a night off. On that turnover, sent in front. Bobrovsky neatly steers it aside. Long shot, gloved by Bobrovsky, and he will hold on. As we go to break, it's Cam Atkinson who gives the Jackets the early lead. The pass from Dubinsky into the net on the delayed penalty. Jackets lead 1-0. A look at the respective coaches. And how about a look right now at the Elk and Elk injury report?
Well, the Jackets self-explanatory. You lose three wingers like Foligno, Umberger, Horton. Total close to 1,800 man games between them in the National Hockey League. And the other side of it, well, one young rookie you're going to hear a lot of, and that's Barkov. Out with a knee injury, lower body. To be precise, I guess, and he is going to be a talent for this hockey team for a long time.
Todd Richards telling us prior to game time here tonight that right now scheduled to take the ice tomorrow back at Nationwide, Nick Foligno, who, knowing Nick as I do, and R.J. Umberger for that matter, it will be awfully tough watching the Jackets open up the Stanley Cup playoffs later this week, and the two not in the starting lineup. Foligno telling us back in Columbus prior to departing for Dallas that he thought he could be ready very early on in that playoff series. Luongo steers it up high, kept in here by Dalton Prout. Prout sends it in on Luongo. Another penalty upcoming here. Jackets are going to go back to the power play as it's touched up there by the Panthers. And the Jackets will go to the power play for the second time here in this opening period.
No, that's because of the hard work. You get into the high traffic areas. Let's listen to Brad Watson. A hooking call. You get into those hard areas and you continue to keep the feet moving. And Jody, that's how you draw penalties.
Yeah, they're down there in the offensive zone, guys. This is 2 penalties that they've drawn in the offensive zone because they're going for the puck, trying to create space. Not sure what happened there, but that was just a pass to the point, and the Florida guy goes down. But they're working hard in the offensive zone.
Third power play negated by the Atkinson goal 47 seconds in. There's a shot that's blocked. Dubinsky gets it back. Saved at the line there by Wisniewski. Behind the net, Matt Calvert sends it to the right wing boards, and Fleischmann drops a backhand into Jackets territory. Howden off at 6:48. Jackets 0 for 1. They had 2 shots of the previous power play. Atkinson from the right wing. Spins, turns, drops it back here for Wisniewski. James Wisniewski under control. Dubinsky for Atkinson. Jack Johnson up high. Johnson, Wisniewski, Dubinsky, top of the circle, looks, hangs on, shows that patience. Dubinsky again. Calvert camped in front. Atkinson in the slot right there at the hash mark. Jackets, Dubinsky again controls. Jackets, pretty good vision on the ice, and they set up Atkinson. Luongo down and holds on. Well, just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller time. Later in tonight's contest, it's brought to you by Miller Lite.
Well, there's a good example of how that power play can work. Again, they go from high to low, and then you find Atkinson coming over and really coming to that strong side as a right-handed shot. That one-timer has been, well, it's been noticeable already in this hockey game.
And the other option was Wisniewski and Dubinsky. Dubinsky was trying to get it to Wisniewski, and after the whistle, they kind of conversed and smiled. They were saying, I was trying to get it to you. A lot of good communication.
Testu on the Tootin, and that one turned aside. 13th shot for the Jackets. We have just past the 8-minute mark of this opening period. David Savard leading the rush up ice. Jenner scoots down the left wing, takes the pass off the wall. Kulikov defends. Chopped back here up high. Tootin deals to the corner, knocked down by Boone Jenner. Away from Campbell. Johansson. Tootin. One-timer here, and it's off the shoulder of Luongo. Tootin. Johansson. Savard waits patiently, takes the pass, moves it back here to Tootin. Jenner sets the screen in front of Luongo. Tootin up high. There's Savard, the right-handed shot on that left wing. Letestu sees that puck get away from him, played there by Brian Campbell, edged along. Jackets get it back, and again it's Boone Jenner. 1 second left of the power play. Quick shot, and that one Missing the mark there by Savard. Savard keeps it in. Oh boy, Luongo fought it off. A bouncing puck, a bit of a knuckler, but he was able to turn it aside, flushing the leather.
Great job there by Jenner, again going right to the net, almost rewarded.
Campbell flips a backhand pass. Anisimov breaks it up. Anisimov at center. Gets it into the skate there of McKenzie, who could not convert. Approaching the midway point of this opening period. Jackets Campbell sends it back. And it's Bjugstad moved up the ice and deflected high off the glass. Puck played behind the net. Anisimov. Nikitin defends. A backhand attempt there by Bjugstad. Bjugstad coming off a 3-point performance, his first in the National Hockey League, in what was a win over Toronto on Thursday night. Bjugstad had 2 goals and an assist, his first 2-goal game as well.
Now leading the team in scoring after that performance.
Up high, the shot off a leg and wide, off the stick there of Olsen. Huberdeau, last season's Calder Trophy winner as Rookie of the Year. Huberdeau just returning here recently from a concussion. Penalty upcoming. Jackets first on the delayed call. Luongo hustles out of the net, and a slashing call against Columbus.
Could be Blake Como going to the box.
So, when we come back, a Panther power play midway through the first.
Look at Quentin Howden, just got out of the penalty box, a 22-year-old. First-round pick back in 2010, but as a 5-year-old kid, he broke the femur in his leg and was in a body cast from his waist down to, again, his toes for a span of 8 months. They never thought, first of all, that he'd ever be an athlete. Well, what has he been able to do? Yeah, first-round pick says something, but part of a group with Johansson and Goodbranson back at the World Juniors, won a silver medal representing Canada, played his junior hockey in Moose Jaw.
Jackets shorthanded. Letestu's got a pair of shorthanded goals. Luongo fights it off. Rebound. And some help there from Goodbranson with the scramble in front. Luongo, who recently returned from an upper body injury, slow to get up, but appears to be all right.
Takes a look at his bench here, almost like, are you guys serious?
Quick shot. It's blocked. Played on that far side. Peary. Yet another impressive youngster on this hockey club. Goodbranson lets one fly. Jackets block that. Back here, Goodbranson again. One-timer. Turned aside by Bobrovsky. Right off the goal stick. Campbell letting one fly, and Letestu is able to find a lane and dumping it deep into Florida territory.
Great job by Letestu there, guys. On that 2-on-1, he chooses to shoot. That's a solid play by him. And then on the boards there, just to get the puck, and sure he got it out. Good play by him.
Jackets amongst the league leaders in shorthanded goals with 9. Letestu looking there for number 3. Bjugstad on here to Fleischmann. Right wing. Fleischmann pulls up, tries to center it. Tooten drops him to the ice. Calvert defending up high. Bergenheim able to sweep it free. Bjugstad along the right wing boards. The Jackets send it back to Savard, and he is able to lift it back into Florida territory.
What a period Matt Calvert is having. Again, you talk about Letestu, McKenzie, what they brought. Well, same thing coming out. Anisimov and Calvert. Good pressure.
It was Matt Calvert on that turnover on the first shift of the hockey game that started the play that resulted in the Atkinson goal on a delayed penalty. Bjugstad for Boys. On to Bergenheim. The Killer Bees out there here right now as they're referred to. Fleischmann in front. Atkinson, the active stick, sweeping it away. Jackets come up with it. Atkinson, shorthanded, final seconds. Down that right side, Dubinsky. Atkinson fires, and he misses stick side.
Great idea. He hung on to it, and looked off the defenseman, Kulikov. But again, that's one you've got to hit the net.
Como out of the box. And back on the Blue Jackets bench. Kulikov will drop it back. Olsen, camp briefly behind the Florida net. 7.5 minutes left in this opening period. Quick moving period at that. Ryan Johansson in front of the Columbus bench. Back here for Nikitin. Nikitin a healthy scratch for the last several games, getting back in the lineup, wanting to make an impact. Quick shot there by Huberdeau. As the puck came right back onto his stick, but Bobrovsky was there, makes the stop, and hangs on.
Hey fans, guarantee your seats for the Stanley Cup playoff games this season, as well as the 2015 NHL All-Star Weekend by placing a deposit on a full or partial season plan for next season. You can do that today. Go to BlueJackets.com to view actual seat locations with your new interactive seat viewer, or call the Blue Jackets ticket office during tonight's game at 1-800-NHL-COLS.
And it might be your way to get the hottest ticket in Columbus right now, and that is Stanley Cup playoff tickets. You can certainly reserve your season tickets and at the same time enjoy some upcoming Stanley Cup playoff action. Puck played there by Wisniewski. On to Jared Bull. Bull battling along the near boards. Wisniewski for Letestu. Can't find the handle. Hit off the wing, but unable to get a shot away was Hayes. Jimmy Hayes, the former Chicago Blackhawk, looking for some open ice. Thrown to the far side. Lurking up high there was Shore. Not the greatest of skaters, but I can tell you what, he knows how to fire that puck.
Drew Shore knows how to score goals as well. He is a point producer.
Far side of the ice, Letestu. Looking, cross ice, Olsen moving in. Traffic in front, Bobrovsky not at all deterred. He's able to kick out that right pass. Ed Jovanovski with a backhand pass. Into the corner, played by Wisniewski. Up the right wing boards for Jared Bull. Jackets change on the fly. Bull hustles off, carrying in. McKenzie tries to walk around Goodbranson. Goodbranson losing his helmet on that exchange. And he's going to go back at McKenzie here. And nearly costing the Panthers another penalty.
McKenzie looking for his 10th goal there, guys. Trying to beat him one-on-one. I like that little move.
That would be a career high for him. Savard. We've talked about a lot of career highs and personal bests around this Jackets hockey club, including the team having established a number of records, most wins, 1 point from tying the franchise record for points in a season, and of course road victories with a total of 20. In the left wing, the puck fired off the netting and out of play. 5:28 left. Opening period. Jackets lead 1-0, outshooting Florida 16-7.
Jackets lead 1-0 here in Florida. Coach, a lot of urgency, a lot of intensity, a goal already. I'm guessing you're happy with the start.
Oh, we've been really good, actually. I think we had one bad shift, but had two good power plays, didn't capitalize on it, but moved the puck well and had a good kill. So, again, it's 60 minutes. It's a game that's it means something to us. We just got to keep pushing.
And final home game for these guys, Todd told us today he expects it to mean something to them as well, knowing it's their last home game of the year.
Yeah, I'm sure it's tough. It's always, when you're out of the playoffs, stuff. But again, the focus is on us. We just want to make sure that we're playing our game here.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Again, this coaching staff has really talked about focus. Hand, not looking too far ahead. And for Peter Horacek, he's got that empty feeling right now that there is not going to be a playoff trip. He wants the players to be able to feel that as well.
A lot to be determined by this hockey club in the offseason, including his future, Horacek's. We'll find out a little bit more about this young Florida hockey club as we get a chance to visit with longtime National Hockey League general manager, former player, former first-round pick, in fact, first overall, Dale Talon, who I believe had as much as anybody to do with the success of the Chicago Blackhawks' 2 Stanley Cup victories in the last 4 years. Dale Talon will join me in the first intermission. We'll talk about the comparisons to the Blue Jackets and his young hockey club, because they definitely have some pieces of the puzzle that should lead Florida back into the playoffs here in the not-too-distant future.
And when you look at their strength, Jeff, you can just look right down the middle. Big guys like Bukestad, Quinton, they've got some players that can certainly play.
They turn it over here. Johansson shot blocked by Jovanovski. Picked right back up. Johansson flips the backhand. Nikitin, quick shot, turned aside the stick save of Luongo. Jenner on that far side. Goodbranson draped all over him. Good move off the wall there by the Jackets. Jack Skilling. Far side. Johansson. Goodbranson defending. Goodbranson getting an arm around Johansson. Puck squirts free to the near side. Jovanovski, and a thundering hit there by Corey Trapp. And Jovanovski goes back with a headshot at Trapp. And now everybody gets involved here. Prout comes in off the point. Jared Bull is right in the middle of it. And Jovanovski taking exception to what was pretty clean hit in the corner.
You're exactly right. Corey Trapp does what he does, and he gets the emotional levels to the level where the team needs to be. Talked about this arena. Jody, you talked about it. This isn't going to be a full place tonight. You've got to make it happen yourself.
Wow, they're not mixing it up with the right line. The Florida Panthers, Jared Bull, Corey Trop, Dalton Prout, James Wisniewski. Even Ryan Johansson had a big fight this year. Jovo didn't like this at all. He puts his hat back on. Then he goes over and gives him a forearm shiver. Corey Trop staves down. Then they pile on here. Watch Jared Bull. He's trying to get his man. He's trying to get in there. He's got three guys that don't really want to grab him.
Well, with 3:34 left, Jovanovski is ushered off into the Panther dressing room. And obviously the first penalty to be called was going to be against the Florida captain. And he got 5 and a game for elbowing.
Well, that was an intent to injure on that play by Eddie Jovanovski. And again, Jody, you said it. Trop comes in and basically nice clean check to get things going.
Well, he's a frustrated guy here. He's on a team that is at the end of tonight. The season is over. He's got 4 months until training camp, or 5 months, and he's there you are. And then he gets a guy that Corey Trop takes a run on. There's only been 3 hits on each side here, guys. A little bit of a no-hitter. Last game of the year, they know it's at stake. So a veteran like Jovo didn't appreciate hit, but he went a little too far there with that elbow. I thought he's sent to the room for the game, it looks like.
And right now, the penalty boxes are empty. We may not see anything from the Florida side, and the Jackets with a 5-minute power play, the end result. Of course, the official, Brad Watson, is over talking to Horacek here right now and explaining the call and wants somebody in the penalty box.
Well, you can see Jonathan Huberdeau talking to the official saying, don't you think that was a little bit of a charge? Let's go ahead and take a look at that thing.
Horacek, he said, don't you think there was more of a clothesline? He was saying to the ref instead of an elbow, but it's not the way the ref saw it. Here comes Jovo right here. Just a little bit of a high elbow. Now, there you go. That's a little shot to the head while he was down. I think the refs just wanted to stomp on that, put the whole situation out.
So the Jackets are going to get a 5-minute power play, elbowing and a game misconduct to Jovanovski. Jackets on the power play 0 for 2 with 5 shots. Jack Johnson looks off the right side, gets it ahead here for Dubinsky, Wisniewski, or Cam Atkinson. Atkinson, Jack Johnson. Back. Right side, Wisniewski. Johnson looking for Dubinsky, camped in front. Artem Anisimov broken up by Florida and sent the length of the ice off the stick there of Jesse Winchester.
Dubinsky looked at Luongo and then tried to get that puck into the slot area. Just went off of a skate and a stick.
Puck fired, length of the ice. Ryan Campbell ahead of Letestu. Jenner turned around by Goodbranson. Florida control, walk it out to center and send it the rest of the way. That one off the stick of Trocheck. Sergei Bobrovsky left there for Jack Johnson. 2.5 minutes left. Puck fired wide of the net. Luongo himself did a little caretaking, sending it high off the glass. Upshaw can't get a stick on it. Comes free to Savard. Savard, Johansson, rink wide. Jack Johnson, Savard, active stick there of Trocheck. Short-handed, Trocheck had it poke check away by Savard. Tripped up there, Johansson. And under control, Fedor Tyutin as the Jackets get fresh legs on.
Well, right now you've got to be patient. Again, Florida's putting some good pressure on. Yes, there probably could have been a penalty call right there, but right now the referee says, hey, you got the major penalty, do your job. That's where the Jackets right now need to twirl the twine.
Jack Skilly fights off the check of Kulikov, slips and falls. Calvert there helping out. Matt Calvert on to Skilly in front. That puck just steered away from McKenzie, who was camped in front, awaiting that cross goal mouth pass.
Love McKenzie here, getting some power play time with Jack Skilly, Matt Calvert. A little reward for these guys.
And rightfully so. These guys are the warriors, the hard workers for this hockey club. Don't get necessarily the recognition that others do. And Coach Todd Richards taking advantage of a full bench here tonight.
Well, Columbus Blue Jackets hockey is brought to you by Nationwide Insurance, the official insurance provider of your Columbus Blue Jackets.
1:20 left, 2:46 of the 5-minute major to Jovanovski.
Well, the other thing that does, too, you play all the lines. You don't have to worry about concentrating efforts on 6. Keep that bench rolling, use everybody.
Johnson throws to the far corner. Dubinsky knocks it out of the air. Gets it to Wisniewski. Atkinson. His pass picked off. Breakaway shorthanded. Bobrovsky sees that puck go right through his body and into the net. Florida has tied it up on the goal by Trocheck.
Well, that's a second effort by Trocheck. Bobrovsky thought he had it. He was squeezed up. And then Trocheck threw his stick in there to whack at it, and you could see it go behind him.
Well, Vinny Trocheck knows a little bit about goal scoring. Again, spent 4 years in the OHL in Plymouth and Saginaw. Right there, he ends up utilizing the legs through the neutral zone, finds the 5-hole of Bobrovsky to make this a 1-1 game. That is a shorthanded goal.
And for the Jackets, that is the 8th shorthanded goal that they have been victimized this season. And now, with less than a minute left, and a shot advantage of 18-9, the Jackets find themselves tied here with Florida.
Well, they're playing against a world-class goalie. Everybody knows that in Luongo. I'd like to see them take advantage of some of their opportunities here.
Well, fans, guarantee your seats for the Stanley Cup playoff games this season, as well as the 2015 NHL All-Star Weekend. By placing a deposit on a full or partial season plan for next season, you can do that today. Go to BlueJackets.com to view actual seat locations with our new interactive seat viewer, or call the Blue Jackets ticket office during tonight's game at 1-800-NHL-COLS.
Unassisted goal by Trocheck, his 5th at 18:59. And Florida has tied it here in the waning seconds of this opening period. Shot from a sharp angle. Bobrovsky forced to make the stop up high. A wrist shot sails wide of the net. Shore chips ahead. Bergenheim tries to get a stick on it. Final 10. Wisniewski. Jack Johnson backhands the pass, looking for Johansson, who takes it from Wisniewski, walks to center ice, and then dumps it back. 1:26 of power play time to start the second period. But the Jackets double up on the shot clock. 18-9 on Florida. But after 20 minutes, the teams are tied. Atkinson, 47 seconds in. And Trocheck, unassisted at 18:59. Columbus Blue Jackets hockey on Fox Sports Ohio, brought to you by Ohio Health, the official healthcare provider of your Columbus Blue Jackets. By Ticketmaster, score, get the only NHL tickets sold by fans and verified by Ticketmaster. It's all hockey, no hassle, right now at NHL.com/ticket exchange. And by Labatt Blue Royale, an ultra smooth, highly drinkable light Canadian lager. And that's why some nights you go big and some nights you go Royale. Set for second period play. Teams have switched ends before they drop the puck. How about the IGS Energy performance?
Well, you take a look at goal scorers. How about Cam Atkinson? Again, beautiful to get things started at the 47-second mark. Vincent Trocheck, shorthanded goal. 1:01 left in period 1.
Todd Richards behind the Jackets bench, looking for his hockey club to get something going here in the second. 1:26 seconds remained in that Jovanovski 5-minute major. Jackets, incidentally, had 16 shots in the first 10 minutes and 15 seconds of that opening period, but just 2 in the last 9:45, based on our ace statistician with us here tonight. Up along the wing, Wisniewski tosses far side, forcing the Jackets back to neutral ice. A little more than a minute left. Jackets power play. It resulted in a shorthanded goal scored at 18:59 by Trocheck. Jack Johnson sees the puck. Ricochet off a stick and wide. Luongo's got it. Last night in Tampa, there were some 38 Jacket backers that made the trip to Tampa. Tonight, 36 of them have remained in Florida, coming to South Florida here in Sunrise for this game today.
How loud are they, Jody?
They're good. They're here in warm-up, standing on the glass, showing their support for their Columbus Blue Jackets on the road. I love that.
David Savard. Quick shot there by Dubinsky. Fedor-Tutin rips it wide of the net. Puck played there. Dubinsky to the point. Tootin floats one in. Unable to get a stick on it was Calvert, camped in front of Luongo. Again, dealt to the point. Savard to the shot. That ricochets off the stick of Roberto Luongo. 22 seconds remain in the Jackets' power play. On that half wall, Dubinsky down the right wing. Knocked to the corner. Atkinson looks off Matt Calvert. Huberdeau standing at the penalty bench. He is serving that 5-minute major for Jovanovski, at least the last minute plus. And now will step out. Jackets unable to score. And Huberdeau has a breakaway. Moves in. And Bobrovsky got just enough of it to send it wide. Heads-up play there by Florida. And as Huberdeau sprinted out of the penalty box and went in home free.
Yeah, that was just a blind spin by the defenseman down here from Florida. Just threw it up in that area.
It's being aware of the clock, time and space.
Kulikov gets it ahead. Brad Boyes, Bjugstad, turned over. Away goes Artem Anisimov down that right wing. Kulikov to play. Eric McKenzie drilling the young Florida defenseman. Bjugstad down the right side. Bjugstad from the right wing boards. Fought off there. The blocker pad save of Bobrovsky. Bergenheim to the point. Olsen sends it in. And there in front, making the play and hanging on, is Bobrovsky.
Now, before the Jackets hit the ice, get ready to join the battle on Blue Jackets Live on Fox Sports Ohio. Blue Jackets Live is brought to you by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
Jody, I need some help here.
Okay.
I didn't get the direct tweet, but it came from longtime hockey writer Mike Russo in Minnesota. And it was the Hall of Fame writer Jim Matheson that wrote the tweet. Ready for this?
Yes.
Still waiting for my good buddy Jeff Rimmer to say the Jackets have to beat Florida to avoid a death match with the Bruins in round one. Now,
don't read that stuff. Focus on the game
No. Just a quick point here. The Jackets with a win will play the Pittsburgh Penguins. But at the same time, that's why they play the series, is it not? That's why you play the playoffs.
Of course, and that's why the Jackets want to win. They have the best seed possible.
Jackets certainly are looking forward to their second playoff berth. And here, Luongo will hold on, forcing the faceoff in Panther territory.
Well, there's a look at Roberto. Returns home, 35 years old. And he's accomplished quite a bit in his career. But to be able to come back home, I know he's certainly excited. Back when the trade rumors were started years ago, it was always said, he had one request. Wanted to return back to Florida.
2 minutes, 46 seconds gone here in the second period. Letestu, Trop, and Anisimov. The offensive zone faceoff. And Luongo looking for a new water bottle and gets it.
It's broken. He's not happy with it. That's why I said to the bench, it's not going in his mask. All the fans behind the goaltender here are laughing at him. He's shaking his head.
Look over at the official. Cowell.
What's he expect to do?
Upshaw, cross ice pass, chipped ahead. Right wing Fleischman. Oh, nice stop there by Bobrovsky. Florida has come on here. Backhanded out to center. Got Branson, toss it to the far wing. Upshaw with a bit of a slash there on Savard. Jackets race into the zone. Corey Trop is drilled by Goodbranson. Gets right back up. Right wing Fleischman. Fleischman for Upshaw. Back to Fleischman. Scotty Upshaw. Ooh, there's a high stick on Jared Bull. And Bull is going to make his way over to the bench. I think it's more around that mouth area than higher.
He's holding his chin.
Yeah. Get some attention on the Jackets bench as play continues. Huberdeau deals to that point. Campbell tosses it right back into the corner. Jackets pressure. Huberdeau, played by Dalton Prout, chipped off the glass. Campbell unable to keep it in. And the end result, an offside.
Right now on FoxSportsOhio.com, Billy Hamilton's past exploits on the base pass, the latest in the playoff-bound Blue Jackets, and chat with Hal McCoy via Game Day Live. Get complete coverage of all of today's action involving Ohio sports on FoxSportsOhio.com.
Face-off outside Columbus territory. 3:55. Into the second period. David Savard paired with Fedor Tutin. If you joined us late, both Ryan Murray and Nick Schultz scratch, giving Dalton Prout and Nikita Nikitin an opportunity to get back into the lineup. Jackets want everybody fresh for the start of the postseason.
And that's why tonight, this is so very important. You put a couple of guys in, you want to go out on the winning way.
Huberdeau tried to backhand it ahead. And we're going to get a penalty here now.
I think Tutin's going to the box here.
It will give Florida their second manpower advantage of the night.
Let's listen to Tom Cowell.
Columbus 51, 2 minutes left.
Hooking call. Fedor Tutin makes his way to the penalty box. This will be the second power play for the Florida Panthers.
And that was just to the right of Sergei Bobrovsky down in front, down the defensive zone for the Jackets. You see Anisimov with the puck.
Like a pretty strong move.
Behind that.
Like a good strong move there by Fedor Tutin. Two hands on the stick. In fact, it wasn't parallel to the ice. It was over top of the stick.
Kulikov walking the line. Florida on the power play come in 30th and last at 10.2%. They had one shot on the previous power play. Jackets looking to return the favor of a shorthanded goal, and it's Letestu and Dubinsky up front. Wisniewski and Jack Johnson are paired on the points.
Great play by Dubinsky to carry the puck behind the net, gather it after a shot, and then get it back to Wisniewski for a one-time shot opportunity in a shorthanded position.
Florida has allowed 6 shorthanded goals. Bergenheim able to come up with that loose puck. On for Fleischmann. Brad Boyes waits patiently on the right wing. Bergenheim across the line. Bergenheim drops it back. Campbell looking for Brad Boyes. Right point. Backhanded in and offside. The call on Fleischmann.
Fans, guarantee your seats for the Stanley Cup playoff games this season, as well as the 2015 NHL All-Star Weekend. Placing a deposit on a full or partial season plan for next season. Do that today. Go to BlueJackets.com to view actual seat locations with our new interactive seat viewer, or call the Blue Jackets ticket office during tonight's game at 1-800-NHL-COLS.
Campbell dropping it back onto the right wing. This is Goodbranson, who chips it deep and hustles right after it. Away from Nikitin. It's rimmed around the boards and for Campbell at the point. Campbell third in time on ice per game, averaging just seconds under 28 minutes a night. Hayes to the point here for Goodbranson. Walking the line. Campbell in front, redirected. Bobrovsky read it well and hangs on. 37 seconds left in the Tutin penalty.
Well, again, they do a nice job of being able to stretch it out in that offensive zone on that power play. And what are they looking for? Once that puck gets out high, it's a change of direction down in front of the net. You see Peary, he's off there. Trocheck as well. They're all looking. A nice job there by Bobrovsky to be able to corral that puck. And, well, just after the fact, it rolls right off of the hip into the back door.
Face off to Bobrovsky's right. Eric McKenzie winning the battle along the wall. And is able to send it the length of the ice. Luongo looks up at the clock. Down to 25 seconds of power play time. Goodbranson. Kemp momentarily behind that Florida net. Now he'll lead the rush up ice. Left wing feed. Jackets break it up, send it to center. Oh boy, Letestu almost getting that puck free and away from Goodbranson. Right back into the zone. Camped in front is Hayes. Campbell lets one fly. That's off the mark. High off the glass. Comes right back to Campbell. Ryan Campbell. Quick shot there. Goodbranson juggled by Bobrovsky and steered wide. Tutin's out of the box. The Jackets have killed it off. Left wing Tutin. Dropped the pass that's picked off and away goes Hayes. Hayes moving in. Fires and scores.
Newton had a chance to get out of the penalty box, and he was able to come up with a puck. And you see the turnover just inside that line, the gray area of the ice where that you do not want that to happen. And in the meantime, the Jackets were trying to make a line change. The defensive pair were off the ice. They basically had to return, lost all their speed. The end result, what a play there by Hayes. He had a 3-on-2 scenario, a little toe drag, and beat Bobrovsky on that short glove side.
Bobrovsky knew that Torchek was coming down that far wing. May have cheated a little bit and gave Hayes a little room on that glove side. And it was tucked home for Hayes' 11th of the season. And Florida lead 2-1.
That's where that drag snapshot comes into play. You can pull it back and go the opposite way, or in this case, you see that goaltender move just a smidgen. You can shore it up on that short side.
This is game 5 of a 5-game homestand to end the season for Florida. They won 2 of the previous 3 after losing 3 of 5 and 7 of the last 10. But they lead for the first time in the hockey game. And the Jackets are going to have to do up those chin straps and get back to that workmanlike effort.
Well, we want to be able to complete the task, and that was the number 1 key tonight. Finish the season off in style.
Kulikov as the Jackets change up, and Jenner losing his footing and gingerly gets back to the bench. Let's hope he's all right. Jackets could ill afford to lose any more forwards already without the services of Horton, Umberger, and Foligno, and really no word as to when any of them will get back. Calvert rips it wide as Luongo loses his stick. Peary picks up the lone assist at 6:35. Luongo the pad save. 2-1 as we approach the 8-minute mark. Dubinsky in front for Atkinson. Matt Calvert lifts it high and wide. Chip to the left wing boards. Bergenheim cannot get a stick on it. Atkinson's got a hustle ahead of Bukestad. Chipped off the wall. Dubinsky picks up the loose puck in front of that Florida bench. Fights off the check from Hayes. Tries to get it to Atkinson. And we're going to get a penalty here for holding. 11:41 left. Jackets going back to the power play when we get back. Chance to visit with Coach Todd Richards prior to game time here tonight. He talked about his club needing to be prepared more on the mental side than the physical side. He wanted their focus on this game and this game alone. Not about who their opponent will be in the playoffs. Not about the start of the postseason. And he was quite adamant when he talked to members of the media about not looking ahead. Not his hockey club, not his coaching staff, and certainly not himself. In fact, he was pressed a couple of times and said, well, what if the playoffs started tomorrow? And again, he refused to answer that comment, Bill.
He said, because it's not tomorrow. He's been like that since day one. You look back at some of the notes from the first game, 3 things that came out. Build on team success that you had last year. Focus on short-term goals that you can really look at and evaluate. And then the third thing is that work ethic, how it's reinforced with basically accountability by everybody. And he's been able to do that all year.
Jackets are on the power play with the boys' penalty. A holding call. Jackets 0 for 3, 7 shots. Short-handed, walking in. Fleischmann denied. Bobrovsky, square to the shooter, was able to play that off the pad.
That back pressure coming back, that has to be a little better. You're in a 2-on-2 scenario. You've got to make sure that that trailer is covered.
Atkinson drops it back for Wisniewski. Getting it ahead for Dubinsky. Right wing feed. Campbell steps in front of Atkinson, who heads to the bench. Jack Johnson directing traffic. Fleischmann. First forward in. Now he is quickly replaced. Fresh legs on the penalty kill for Florida as we approach the midway point of the second period in hockey game. Tootin off the wing. There's Luongo flashing the leather and holds on.
Make sure you join Blue Jacket fans at Gabo's Tacos. It's 3051 Northwest Boulevard in Upper Arlington for Game 1 watch party. Meet the Fox Ohio girls and win great prizes as you cheer the Jackets on to victory.
Jackets win the draw, but it's blocked out of the zone. Upshaw rims it around the boards. Tootin here along the near side, away from Upshaw. Chips it backhand for Savard. 10-10 left, and less than 30 left on the power play.
Jackets need to do themselves a favor, guys, get the passing going, get some simple plays going here. They had a great start to the game, but after the first 10 minutes, they've really been on their heels.
Upshaw And one knee, shot blocked by Savard. Away goes Jenner. He's got Johansson on the left wing. Deals here to Johansson. Right-handed shot, looks. Letestu, Jody the rush. He shoots and scored! Power play goal! And the Jackets have tied it up. And how about the vision, Jody, of Ryan Johansson, who watched Letestu come right into the corner of his eye.
Luongo here, guys. He's the limit. He got bumped in front of, as the shot came in, he actually got his stick bumped out of his hand. He's the limit. He threw the net back off its moorings. Yelled at the ref immediately, but great shot, like you said, by Letestu. Boone Jenner kicks it out here. It goes cross ice. Letestu gets it, fires it, and you can see in front, Boone Jenner knocks the stick out of Luongo's hand right there. And watch this. He gets up and just throws the net up. You'll see it here. Boone's just kind of standing up high. I think the referee got that right.
Well, obviously there was a Florida defenseman, Dylan Olsen, that was right there alongside Jenner. It was not as if Jenner purposely bumped in without any interference at all the other way.
Well, good on the ref to catch that, because, you know, the reaction to Luongo, he went with that, he would have been sold, but he was on it.
Quick shot, turned aside, and these fans are up in arms, chanting against the officials, but the Jackets have tied it up with a power play goal. And how about Letestu? He had a 3-game goal-scoring streak, tying a career high, snapped last night in Tampa, and now with 4 goals in the last 5 games. And that's after quite a drought. Jackets come back again, and Como looking high glove side there.
Oh, great opportunity by Como. Tried to beat him on that high glove, but again, missing the net.
Hayes, who had put Florida up, squeezed out along the boards. Dubinsky on here for Atkinson, left wing for Calvert. Puck hops over his stick and sails deep into Florida territory. Kulikov avoids a hit, makes the play, headbanding that puck here to Hayes. Right side.
Dubinsky hurt himself when he hit the boards there, guys. He's going off.
Dubinsky slow to get to the bench. The shot, Bobrovsky's got it and will hold on. Well, a number of the Blue Jackets with bumps and bruises continue to play. And Dubinsky is going to head down to the runway and head to the dressing room.
Now in Florida, Dan, obviously you hope that Letestu goal maybe will give you some of your energy back that you had in the first period.
Well, God knows we could use it. We spent the whole second period playing on our heels, and against this team, you know, they're young, but they're lots of talent over there, lots of young talent that works hard, and if you keep playing this way, they're gonna take advantage of it.
And what's missing? How do you get it back?
Well, we're just, for whatever, I mean, it is 4 and 5. You know, it's not something that these guys have done a whole lot of as far as our players are concerned. You can see a little bit of fatigue. It's no excuse. We just have to do the right things and play a simple game.
Right now, again, just respect the Panther pride. These guys want to finish it in style. They're at home. They want to finish it off in front of their crowd. The Jackets, in the meantime, 4 games, 5 nights. And each and every one of them are going to be called upon to finish this hockey game properly.
I want to say a couple things about Dubinsky, who earlier in that first period picked up his 50th point, second time in his career. He has reached that mark. He is back on the bench. I came over in the courtesy van with Dubinsky this afternoon, and here a backhanded tip. Huberdeau trying to tuck it home. That pad hugging the near post, and Bobrovsky able to keep that puck out of the net. Meantime, heading up ice, this is Skilling.
There's a skate caught Bobrovsky's jersey. Holy cow.
And Bobrovsky taking a little bit of exception there.
The skate was caught up, but it looked like it was caught in his, maybe up around his throat guard. And Sergei patiently didn't move, and then after, when the player got up, Sergei had enough, and he just threw him down.
Yeah, that was Jesse Winchester. Let's see if we've got a replay of that. And again, while that was going on, the Jackets had a pretty good glorious opportunity at the other end as they come out of the zone with a little bit of speed. And the puck, again, Skilly had it deep. He tried to lay it back into space. We'll be able to get a chance to see right now is that save. And you can see Winchester down in front of the net. And you can see, look at the skate. And it's in and around. Boy, I'll tell you what, he is a lucky man.
Well, I can tell you that every other camera that was shooting this hockey game here tonight was following the play up ice. So Bobrovsky.
Interesting series, though, with Bobrovsky. He laid flat down on his stomach, and he was waiting for the guy to get untangled with him. And it slowly...
Well, here we go with the overhead.
Slowly unfolded, and Sergei had enough. There he is. It's caught there.
Oh, there it is right there.
Oh, boy, that could have been very
Yeah,
dangerous.
so Sergei just laid still here, and he tries to pull it out.
Oh, boy.
Sergei takes one swipe, then he stands up
Yeah,
and just throws him down.
it's the tendon guard at the top of the skate. Got caught inside that neck jersey. I'll tell you. Very, very fortunate.
Letestu on the turnover, attempting to feed Jared Bull. Less than 7.5 left. As we mentioned, Dubinsky returning. And as I started to say, as the Jackets had the bus coming, Dubinsky and I left a little bit earlier into that courtesy van at the hotel, and Dubinsky telling me about, hey, our guys obviously focused on tonight's game and the upcoming playoffs. We've got to fight through injuries, maybe some bumps and bruises along the way, including those of Dubinsky. But the fact of the matter is he's a gamer, and after taking a short walk down to the dressing room, he is back on the bench, and we'll see him here for his next shift.
The 76th game tonight for Brandon Dubinsky, and he's one player that does not take a night off.
Again, you can certainly point to the Rick Nash trade, the arrival of Dubinsky and Anisimov, and the work ethic that they have brought to this hockey club. And as president of hockey operations, John Davidson promised the day that he was hired, we will not be outworked. Although in an article earlier on today, in the Dispatch said, yeah, when we struggled early on, we were outworked. But the team has certainly responded in a big way here down the stretch.
Well, let's look at that play of Dubinsky when he goes into the boards right there. Again, he went in full goal, and when he hit, you can see him again. He clutches his wrist and his arm. Is it the arm? Is it the leg? Any way you look at it, 17 is back on the bench, and he's ready to play.
No speculation there. He's back.
None.
Just a little bump and a bruise, that's all.
I can tell you, when you miss a player and hit the boards, there's Cam Atkinson drawing off a stick in the penalty box, but when you hit the boards, it does not feel good like that. So good to see him back, though, guys.
Tripping the call on Atkinson. Florida on the power play. 0 for 2 with 4 shots. On that last kill, the Jackets pretty strong there, Jody.
Yeah, they're getting a couple 2-on-1s on these kills. Letestu, McKenzie, keep an eye on that.
Bergenheim, Kulikov, left side, top of the circle, moving in. The shot by Bukestad, and it's out of play. Well, all rights to this broadcast are reserved, in any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of the broadcast without the express written consent of the Columbus Blue Jackets is expressly prohibited.
Jeff, you mentioned a good penalty kill. You know, that's good habits. It's good, smart plays when you have penalty killers out there. They're working hard. They're working smart together. And it's really plays to what the Blue Jackets' identity, 5-on-5.
Bukestad won the draw. The Jackets blocked the shot. Back to center and Kulikov. Rumored to be on his way out earlier on this season, but talented young defenseman. Boy, you think Florida will want to hang on to him.
23 years old. Again, you look at defensemen, give them 26, 27.
Bukestad, the shot, and the save of Bobrovsky with 5:29 left, a minute 10 in the Atkinson penalty.
Well, after every Blue Jackets game, Fox Sports Ohio breaks down the game, talks to the players and the coaches on Blue Jackets Live, presented by IGS Energy.
And Bukestad, 3 points in his last game against Toronto, 2 goals and an assist.
Tell you what, he is one player. You talk about a loyal guy. Played high school hockey instead of going on to the U.S. development program, stayed at Blaine High School, and then on to the University of Minnesota.
Quick shot. Jackets block that. Jack Johnson steps in front of it, off the stick of Goodbranson, and it's back into Florida territory. Campbell and Goodbranson paired on the point, and both can fire the puck. Peary gets it ahead. Trocheck, who scored that shorthanded goal. Jersey number 67, out there up front with Jimmy Hayes. The Jackets clear. 5 minutes left. 40 on the Atkinson penalty.
Now the key right now, you got some fresh penalty killers out there with a little bit of pressure.
Peary brings it around the boards. Hayes, Keaton defending behind the net. Peary tried to throw it in front. Nice play there. The active stick of Keaton, who finishes the check. Branson in off the point. Off a skate. Trocheck. Peary. Quick shot. Hayes. Pad Save Bobrovsky. And it ricochets all the way back out to center ice.
Well, Jimmy Hayes got himself into the wheelhouse, and boy, did he let that go, but a better save right there by Bobrovsky.
4 minutes, 20 seconds left. Campbell, as the Jackets get back to full strength. Walking in, splitting the fence, denied. Bobrovsky, the left pad, stopping Upshall as he split the defense and walked in.
Scotty Upshall knows a little bit about goal scoring. Spent 21 games with the Jackets a few years ago and showed some soft hands and the ability to score.
In the corner, backhanded by Como, picked off by Florida. Huberdeau, right wing pass for Upshall. Upshall skating better than any time I've seen him here in the last couple of seasons.
Finally healthy. One of those guys that has just drawn the ire of the injury bug.
Shots are even for the first time tonight at 24. The Jackets had a substantial lead early on in this hockey game. Battle ensues below that goal line. Puck play here. And away goes Johansson. Left wing for Boone Jenner. Como's on that right side. Bounces just by the goal stick of Luongo. Dubinsky hustling up. None the worse for wear, I'm happy to say. Bukestad chips it off the boards. Boys pursues. Jack Johnson defends. Wisniewski for Matt Calvert. Olsen steps into him. Now Jack Johnson fights off the check. Gets it ahead to Dubinsky. Right wing. Dubinsky trying to find that handle there as it's poked free. Campbell on to Bukestad. Bukestad at the line. On to Brad Boys. Boys steps into Jackets territory from that right wing. Held in check. Jack Johnson doing his job. And now Matt Calvert sprints down the left wing. Burst of speed. He's across the line. Quick shot deflected off the stick of Goodbranson. Jackets Dalton Prout at the right point. Unable to keep it in. There'll be no icing here as the puck could have been played at that right point.
How about the play of Calvert tonight, Jody? He just continues to work.
I love him. I love him all year. He's got that second effort out there, and you can see even in the defensive zone, he never gives up on a play. And that's a contagious thing when you're a teammate.
Good work there by Bull. Jared Bull, much like his name, bulling his way through on that left side. And Bull in pursuit. He and Kulikov come together. Bull is looking at those red jerseys.
Yeah, he might get one here. Stuck his leg out there.
They're going to call a tripping penalty on Bull, who takes exception. And he is now tied with a guy named Shelley for most penalty minutes in franchise history.
Number 2 minutes left in this period. It's 2-2, tied up. Shots are 24-24, and Jared Bull just picked up 2 minutes, and the Jackets are on the kill here, guys. You know, the Jackets came out with a good start to this game. Kind of fell into a trap with the Florida Panthers here. Panthers come up, got the lead. Jackets battled back. And that goon, Jared Bull, is in the penalty box.
What was that? He's now tied you, Jody.
What a
that
guy.
record, that long-standing record.
Good for him.
Now, we should point out that Jared Bull had nothing but total admiration for Jody Shelley, and the feeling was mutual. Right, Jody?
Absolutely. No better kid than Jared Bull, I'll tell you that. And he's a warrior, and I love when he's out there.
Aaron Portzline wrote a feature recently, Scramble in Front. Bobrovsky makes the first stop. Quoted Jody Shelley on Jared Bull. The fact that they both would have liked to have seen Jody remain a Jacket prior to his trade from San Jose. So Jody got to be the big guy with his little brother. In front. Oh, Bobrovsky coming across it right off the shoulder.
That's huge.
Jackets send it up, but not out. Saved at the line. Good hustle there by Florida. And this time the Jackets lift it up and deep into Florida territory. Shots were 16-3. We talked about this earlier. 16-3 Columbus with 9:45 left in the opening period. Since then, 24-8 Florida. Campbell can't keep it in at the right point. A little more than a minute left. In fact, the penalty clock and the second period time exact. And we now look at less than a minute left. Luongo directing traffic, communicating with his defenseman, and away goes Kulikov. Head up to center. Kulikov deals on the wing there for Bukestad. Bukestad pulls up, deals to the point. Moved by Fleischmann for Bukestad. Couldn't cradle the puck. Brad Boys will rim it around the wall. Far side, Boys. Bukestad chips it off the wall, right up out of that Florida bench. and out of play. 28.2 seconds remain.
America's new sports network is the place to turn before every slam, every goal, and every game with America's pregame only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Tune in to America's pregame weeknights at 6 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox Sports 1. To find Fox Sports 1 on your cable satellite provider, go to foxsports1.com.
1-1 after 1. Here in the late stages of the second, teams again trade goals. Tied at 2, 16 seconds remain. Upshaw to the goal line there for Huberdeau. Good work by Nikitin to get a stick on it. And then out-muscles the Florida forward Upshaw and hammers it the length of the ice. This will do it not only for the Florida power play, but the second period of play. And after 40 minutes here in Sunrise, Florida, the Panthers and the Blue Jackets knotted at 2. Dave Betzold will have a guest when we come back. A 2-2 tie, a physical affair. Strong goaltending and some nice offensive play. Columbus Blue Jackets hockey on Fox Sports Ohio, brought to you by Roush Honda. For the best deals on new wheels, it's Roush Honda. Teams have returned to the ice for third period play. Tied at 2, 1-1 after 1. And after 40, where we are right now at 2-2. And how about tonight's AT&T Rewind? For that, we will show you the 2 Blue Jacket goals scored here this evening.
Well, it didn't take long, Jeff, to get things going. 47 seconds into period number 1. It's Atkinson, his 21st from Dubinsky and Calvert. Great second effort by Calvert to get his stick and be able to make that play. And then a little center drive by Boone Jenner. A pass to Johansson. He puts it on the tape to Letestu. 10-14, a power play goal. That made it a 2-2 game.
How about the AEP power play summary through 40 minutes?
That's what Cam Atkinson would like to do. Build on these numbers. Again, that 1 for 4 in the power play, the 11 shots. And understand, one of those power plays, it was a major penalty to Jovanovski.
So, simply put here, as we get set for third period play, the Jackets win this period. They will face the Pittsburgh Penguins in the opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. That will begin later on this week. Winning the period, and the opponent in the first round is Pittsburgh. We are set. And from the faceoff, Johansson wins the draw, played there by Jack Johnson. On to James Wisniewski. Wisniewski, right wing feed for Skilly. Sends it by the Florida defenseman Luongo himself. Brings it around the wall, cut off there by Boone Jenner, who's now riding a modest point-scoring streak. Pair of points last night, assisting on the power play goal scored by Letestu in the second. Johansson shovels to Jenner. Boone Jenner. An outstanding rookie season, and more confidence shown by the coaching staff with each passing week, and rightfully so.
You look at how he started, and again, did not expect to make this hockey team, but on opening night, Gaborik, Dubinsky, that was the line, the number 1 line coming out of training camp.
Important. Of course, certainly missed by the hockey club. Spoke to him earlier on today, on the mend in Philadelphia after surgery, and looking for a complete recovery. Our next telecast will come your way later this week. Still to be determined the opponent and the start date for the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Jackets certainly can answer part of that question here, as we mentioned. If they can win this period against Florida. Jody Shelley, third member of our crew at ice level. Jody, how's it look down there?
Looks pretty good. The puck's bouncing quite a bit here, guys, to start the period. There was a couple plays behind the net already for Sergei Bobrovsky to try to gather it in and make a play. He had to make it a little bit, it fumbled a bit, but let's keep an eye on the bouncing puck.
Fedor Tutin rips it wide. Jody's looking forward to the playoffs, too, because it'll almost be, Jody, as if you're a player again. You're going to be between the benches for us.
Oh, it's exciting, guys. Playoffs is exciting for everyone, yeah, but to be down on ice level, boy, that'll be something.
Play in the high slot. Campbell. On for Goodbranson. Centers the feed. Tossed back once more. Campbell Backhanded ahead. Jackets play it. Prout can't clear. Along that left wing wall. Fired wide there by Drew Shore. Shore tried to get a stick on it again. Spinning, turning. Huberdeau walking to the net. Shore is there. But McKenzie able to come up with that loose puck. Dalton Prout head up. Will clear it to the Florida side.
Good quick play there by Anisimov with that stick. Good active stick to disrupt that play.
Olsen. Rink wide. Huberdeau waits at center. Deals it ahead. Shore towards the net. Backhanded by Shore. McKenzie. Hit by Huberdeau. Prout defending against Shore. And the Jackets, Nikitin. Quick feed to Anisimov. Right side goes Como. And Anisimov will dump to the corner. Como hustles in. He'll make the play off that backboard. Tosses to the right wing. Wisniewski stepping up. Fires a shot that's blocked. Knocked down was Como. Puck rolling on in. Wisniewski able to see. Save that puck. Now Como from a sharp angle. Off the side of the net. Glanced right off the shoulder there of Luongo. Wisniewski left point for Jack Johnson. On to Wisniewski. Lets one fly. But the stop made by Luongo covered up with the glove. And a faceoff will come to Luongo's left.
That original play by James Wisniewski to keep that puck in the blue line is a big play. The puck's coming out towards him. He stands there with confidence, keeps the play in, and keeps that offensive opportunity alive.
You know, they did a nice job of being able to stretch that out. Again, that's how you create the offense. If teams coming after you, spread them out.
Face off to the left of Luongo. Jackets win the draw. Letestu. Wisniewski's shot sails wide of the net. Got Branson away from Jared Bull. The two come together. Puck in neutral ice. Letestu first, back on to Wisniewski. Pass intended there for Jack Johnson, who hustles and steers to center. Got Branson. Kulikov. Right back to Gudbranson. Former Ontario Hockey League star. And then here, Bobrovsky forced to make a stop.
That was Hayes again, coming down with the puck.
Well, fans, be the first to know when tickets are released for the upcoming playoff games by signing up for the Blue Jackets Flag Bear presented by Nationwide Insurance. Subscribers will also receive the latest Blue Jackets news, exclusive team videos from Jackets TV, promotion information, and more, all delivered right to your email inbox. Sign up now at BlueJackets.com.
James Wisniewski sends it off the boards. Bull can't trap it there on that right wing. Right side, chopped into Jackets territory. Wisniewski down on one knee, gets it to Jack Johnson, who avoids a check. Campbell. Does he leave the ice? Bergenheim on here to Bjugstad, who tried to chip it by the Jackets defender. You could see why Campbell logs the third most ice time on a game-by-game basis. He's hardly left the ice. Here's Skilly off the goal post. Right off the pipe. Rebound. Luongo moving laterally, able to make the stop on the second attempt. Skilly had Luongo beat, but it went right off the iron.
Great job on that backhand to elevate that puck. And again, just a 3-inch pipe separated from getting into the net.
Johansson for Atkinson. On comes Dubinsky. Johansson's made his way to the bench. Upshaw across the line. On to Kulikov from the left wing boards. Into the slot. Kick save. The right pad there of Bobrovsky. A shot by Olsen. And Bobrovsky says no again.
Well, let's go take a look back at that offensive zone where the Jackets get an opportunity. And you can see Boone Jenner in his regular spot right off of that strong side. And then the shot by Jack Skilly, rips it off the post on that backhand. I'll tell you, what a great addition. You lose guys like Foligno, like Umberger. You lose your core, but when you can bring up a guy, a number 1 pick out of the Chicago Blackhawks a few years back, he's got great legs, big size, and can get things done.
A little bit of a slew foot there on Calvert. And I'm happy to say he's getting back up, albeit slowly. A little upset there, but a tripping call upcoming, and the Jackets will get another opportunity here on the power play, their 5th.
Yeah, he just got clipped there on the way by. It's right by the bench, and there is a little, right, it's kind of a slew foot, leg to leg.
Thomas Fleischmann makes his way to the penalty box. That is his 11th minor penalty of the year, so the Jackets get an opportunity on that power play. And they've had great zone time. Now they've got to find a way to finish 1 for 4 in the night.
Now the Jackets, 11 of their 29 shots have come on the power play, and now a golden opportunity to regain the lead. They led 1-0, 47 seconds in. It was 1-1 after one. Florida went up 2-1. Jackets tied it up on a power play goal midway through the second by Letestu. Johansson for Letestu. First across the line. Left wing goes Jenner. It's tossed to the left point. Jack Johnson looking for Jenner. Kulikov is out there power play penalty killing in a regular shift. Flipped up but not out. Good save at the line by Wisniewski, and as he fell, he was able to sweep it ahead. Jenner pitchforks it back to the point. Wisniewski takes it from Jack Johnson. Cross ice. Ryan Johansson, who has had the flair for the dramatic here in recent games. Will he do it again? A 2-2 tie. Wisniewski sends it in front. Trying to get a stick on it there was Jenner. Johansson, who leads the team with 32 goals. Wisniewski on to Johansson. He does it. He shoots and scores. Power play goal number 33. No sooner do we say it, it's in the back of the net, and the Jackets have the lead.
And again, another example of a power play when they move the puck around and it is tape to tape. They're on the stick. Hey, you get into position, and that's where, again, Johansson has improved his game so much. But look at this pass by Wisniewski, back door, and Brett Hull-like, he gets himself into that position, leg down onto the ice, all of the weight going forward, and great timing by Johansson at a real severe angle to be able to make this a 3-2 hockey game.
And Johansson's second point of the night, his 33rd goal of the season. He has now tied Rick Nash for the 5th most goals in Blue Jackets history. 2 points tonight for Johansson. Now give him 63 on the year. A breakthrough season for the former number 4 overall pick. Up high, Campbell. It's wristed wide of the net. Goodbranson steps in off the point. Deflected and off the mark. Columbus 3, Florida 2. And it's hammered in by Goodbranson.
Took a funny hop off the stanchion, guys, and directed closer to Sergei Bobrovsky. Jack is underneath it here to get it out.
Flips ahead, and Isimov backhands it past McKenzie, looking for his career 10th of the year. Luongo makes the stop. As we go to break, reason to celebrate again. Ryan Johansson. Jackets lead 3-2. Time for tonight's Ohio Health Great Save.
Well, let's go back to period number 2, and you'll see a little bit of traffic down in front of the net. Huberdeau trying to stuff it in on that short side. Jesse Winchester, he is right on top of Sergei Bobrovsky, and look at the skate. Tell you what, Bobrovsky very fortunate. He did not catch that blade, but what a save there in period 2.
The 2 power play goals for the Jackets. They have now scored 13 power play goals on 36 manpower advantages. And incidentally, James Wisniewski picks up the power play assist. And that for Wisniewski is his 28th power play point and his 25th assist. Also add an assist to Jack Johnson. Huberdeau can't make the play out of the zone. It's tossed to the far side, up the right wing boards. Drilled high and wide of the net by Dubinsky. 12 minutes, 42 seconds left here in the third. Huberdeau headmans that puck. Play here by Shore. Looking for the man coming in late. Tripping and falling is Skilly, but a breakaway here for Jenner. Walks in, shoots denied. Luongo with a big stop there. And he hears from the crowd with the Lou chant.
Well, you can see Jenner with a little smile on his face. It actually is a 2-on-0 coming in. He takes a look. He's got Johansson on the backside, but tries to go high on that glove as he cuts across right to the top of the crease. What a save right there by Luongo.
I love that he looked at Johansson right away, because he sees him right there. He kind of gives him a little shoulder check. He thinks about it, but then he goes, no. And he looks back at Ryan Johansson.
Just couldn't elevate it high enough right off the glove.
Well, 22 left. Skilly himself could have had that breakaway if he didn't blow a tire there coming out of the zone.
Sniper got him.
Got Branson. Chipped off the wall. Played by Florida in their own zone. Right wing feed for Campbell, jumping up on the rush. Ryan Campbell backhands a shot by Hayes, and it's off the mark. All the way to the right point. Goodbranson can't keep it in. Nice move there by Johansson. Sends it off the wall to himself. Looks in front there for Skilly. Skilly fires from a sharp angle and drills it high and wide. Jack Johnson at the left point. Johnson sends it wide. Jackets looking for that redirect, but unable to do so. And Goodbranson will play it on the far side. On here for Campbell. Less than 12 minutes left in the third period. Fleischman scoots down that left wing. Puck centered. Upshaw. Standing up there is Letestu. Upshaw can't find the handle. There's Corey Tropp, and it's dumped back into Florida territory. Campbell again off the stick there of Letestu. And scrambling back to make the play there is Trocheck. He had the shorthanded goal that tied it up late in period number 1. Backhanded in by Trocheck. Bobrovsky. Tootin. Right side. Savard pressures. Gets it back to Tootin. Corey Tropp on that left wing. Tootin head up. We'll look to the right wing boards for Jared Bull. Gloves it. Sends it down. Bull fights off Trocheck and dumps back to Fedor Tootin. Little more than 10 minutes left. Derek McKenzie. Left wing feed. Como. Right-handed shot on the off wing. Tries to cut in. Puts the brakes on at the goal line. Kulikov there defending, and he's able to sweep it off into the open corner. Bergenheim to play for Florida. Clearing pass sent to center. Nikitin on here for Dalton Prout. Nikitin and Prout both given an opportunity to get back into the lineup here in the final game of the season. Healthy scratches tonight to get a rest. Both Nick Schultz and Ryan Murray both will be available come playoff time later this week. Bergenheim circles the net, tries a wraparound. Bobrovsky hugging that far side is able to make the stop.
Derek McKenzie's getting up slow here, guys. He came down and hit Bergenheim as he was coming around the net. He's a warrior, he's fine, but took a little bit of wind out of himself there with that hit. Bergenheim's a pretty solid guy.
Well, if you're with us in the first intermission, we had a chance to visit with General Manager Dale Talon. And Talon pointed to the Luongo acquisition, and a long-term one at that from the Vancouver Canucks for the first brick, if I could use John Davidson's phrase, in rebuilding this Florida hockey club. To go along with the youth, Jody, Luongo, and the acquisition, according to Talon, showing the rest of the hockey world that they mean business. They'll spend the money to bring in and attract free agents that you can win with. And certainly Luongo is a good first step.
Well, yeah, and you look at any good team, they have a great goalie.
9:59 left. 3-2, Columbus. 3-2 the score. A look at Mark Letestu, and he is the subject of tonight's Big Lots Big Play.
I'll go back to 10-14 of period number 2, a power play goal, and they do it off of the rush. They come across the line. You see that pass by Johansson right onto the tape of Letestu. He buries it. Jenner, he's at home in front of the net. That's exactly what you're looking for. Disrupt the goaltender, but a better shot by Letestu for goal number 12.
9:59 left. 3-2. Jackets lead the face-off in Florida territory. Matt Calvert puts the brakes on. He's on that half board. Try to move ahead. Calvert in front. A quick attempt there by Atkinson is knocked down. But Calvert is there to make the play at center and get it back to the Jackets on the turnover.
One thing you're going to see from Florida right now, and they've been really doing it all period, is committing that extra defenseman on the rush. Jackets take advantage. They've got to be able to finish it off.
Atkinson. There's Campbell dumping it behind the net. Go back off the wall to center. Stepping up is Wisniewski. And he'll dump it back into Rollback's corner. Jenner finishing the check. Campbell able to steer it free. Huberdeau turned around on the play there by Johansson. Left wing short. Cannot clear the zone. Savard. Nice move to get it ahead to Johansson. Backhanded ahead. The Johansson goal right now on the power play at 5:58. The difference in this tight checking hockey game. Less than 9 left. David Savard, right wing. Skillet with Tropp and Johansson. Skilly sends it back. One thing about Jack Skilly, guys, he's got some great speed, doesn't he? Great wheels.
Strong stride, Jody.
Oh, yeah, he's great there. He's he got going too quick when he had that opportunity for that breakaway when you guys said he blew a wheel, but yeah, he's got some good skating skill.
Fleischman had it taken away by Jared Bull. Good play there. Corey Trop along that far board. Upshaw fought off. McKeaton can't make the play. Thrown back up. And Trop will send it over. Got Branson's stick. And back into Florida territory. A little more than 8 minutes left. Kulikov sweeps it ahead. It gets by Letestu, and with some help from Upshaw, the puck deep in Columbus territory.
Now, two things. One-on-one battles you have to win, and then good puck management to finish the game.
Jared Bull, who earlier tonight reached a milestone, tying Jody Shelley 1,025 penalty minutes for a minor that he picked up for tripping late in that second period. Luongo edges it here to the near board. Campbell. Bergenheim. Jackets break it up. It gets away from Wisniewski. Brad Boyes on the forecheck. On to Anisimov. Away from Bergenheim. Como waits. The crowd try to encourage. The host Panthers in this one. Off the skate there of Boyes. Como playing keep away. On to Wisniewski for Jack Johnson. Anisimov. Down the right wing, looks to cut it and does! And rips it wide, looking far side. Luongo able to steer it aside with a goal stick save. Played here by Huberdeau, right wing. Hayes across the line. Hayes trying to cut in. Hayes fires from a sharp angle, and the puck sails wide and all the way back to the right wing, and away goes Anisimov. Artem Anisimov, left wing side. Matt Calvert, wrist shot, pad, stopped there by Luongo.
Nice play by Calvert to get that off the pad. Tried to get a rebound out front, but it was kicked to the corner by the veteran Luongo.
Kulikov marching into Jackets territory. Kulikov head up, turning away from Atkinson. Now chips ahead. Atkinson able to get a stick on it and sends to the Florida line. Fleischman across the line. Knocked away there and played by Jenner briefly. Following it up, quick shot, save, rebound. Bobrovsky will hold on.
Well, let's take a look going back, and you talk about a guy that has really got the nose for the net here in the last 10 games, and Artem Anisimov. And I watched this move right here with the weight right back on the heels, and in the same motion, trying to be able to put that puck low to the ice. You can see Luongo took away the lower portion of that net, but what a second effort right there by Anisimov, and he paid the price.
Off Feder Toot, that one hurt. Right wing.
Shaking it off in front of the net there.
He's going to lumber his way off. And takes a seat on the Jackets bench. Shaking this one off here is Campbell. Weaves into Jackets territory. Upshaw finishing the check. Savard not giving up much territory. Fleischman shot blocked. Here comes Skilly. He's got speed down that right wing. Fires a wrist shot. Luongo the stop, and he will hold on from that patented right wing spot. Top of the circle. A heavy shot by Skilly. Luongo turns it aside.
Third period here, 3-2 Jackets. 5:33 left in this period, guys, and the Jackets are up because of a power play goal. And James Wisniewski played a big role in this game. You watch right here, guys. He keeps the puck in on the line with an interesting little play. It's getting cleared right here. James Wisniewski, you can't see him, he's on the left of your screen, but he steps up, keeps it in with his belly, and then makes that little move to keep it low. And from there, they set up for the one-timer, Ryan Johansson, the back of the net.
Great play there, and heads-up call by you, Jody. There's Skilly dishing it off there. McKenzie unable to keep it in. A little more than 5 minutes remain here in the third period. Jackets 3, Panthers 2. Jackets, who saw Florida take the lead on the shot clock, have managed to come back here and now lead 37-32. Less than 5 left. Calvert, rink wide there for Skilly, who kicks it ahead, and he'll get a well-deserved rest here as the Jackets change up.
You know, it's funny you talk about that shot total, Jeff, because early it seemed like Florida wasn't really into this game, but they've hung around. They've really put on a great push.
They actually took the territorial play away on a couple of occasions here tonight from the Blue Jackets. The Jackets have come up here with a big third period, knowing going in they could win this period. They will be able to determine their playoff opponent. Chipped out to center. On the turnover, offside, unable to hold the line there was Winchester. And as a result, that put Peary offside. How about the Chase Eastern Conference playoff picture? Up to the moment standings here, both Detroit and the Jackets. 2 wild card entrants, and both with 1 game remaining. Jackets play their final game here in Florida. Detroit and St. Louis tomorrow, but the Jackets can determine their seeding with a victory here tonight. Philadelphia earlier on today, Bill, we had a chance to watch the game. In fact, the final minutes here up in the booth. Philadelphia solidifying their first-round opponent by virtue of an overtime win in Pittsburgh over the Penguins.
What an exciting game that was to finish. A couple of goals in the last 2 minutes of play, and then just getting started 2 minutes in. That overtime period, Mark strikes for the game-winning goal.
Always fun when those two teams get together, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia.
In front there, Anisimov rolled off his stick. Now, you were a Flyer as early or as late as last season, and they dominated Pittsburgh. And I don't think the Flyers really wanted to play Pittsburgh in that first round.
Well, it looked like it. You think they would have wanted to line that up, but they got the Rangers. But they had fun today there. It was kind of rough.
Talking to Craig Berube in our last visit there about 10 days ago, Berube saying that they've not had much good luck in New York over the last 2 seasons at Madison Square Garden. But the so-called second season, the records are erased. And now it's on to the playoffs. 3:18 left. But Branson deals it on that wing. Cross ice pass. Kulikov to play it. Offside. Now Todd Richards talking prior to tonight's game about his team keeping their focus. Just think about tonight's game. And I think for the most part, they've done just that, Bill.
Well, they have, you know, and he talked about one thing, and he said it the last 4 or 5 games. When we play with emotion, it gives us energy. We had some lapses last night. Not many. We played a solid game, but that's what we fear tonight coming in here. That's why you've got to respect your opponent. The Jackets so far in this hockey game and have been able to do that.
You know, they had a lull in the second, but they're back in it now.
Ooh, off the shoulder of Bobrovsky. Laid up high. Got Branson. Chips ahead. Jackets come up with it. The clearing pass picked up here by Dubinsky. Right side goes Atkinson. He opened the scoring, and here he rips it wide of the net. Kulikov. Down that right wing. Tootin defends. Kulikov sends it in deep. Fleischmann. Trocheck. Hayes. All 3 below the goal line. Deep in Columbus territory. Tootin able to steal it. David Savard spins, turns away from Fleischmann in the forecheck. Tossed back into the corner there by Roback. Centered in front. Atkinson is on it. He'll lift it up and out.
I'll tell you what a play right there. Savard utilizing his body defensively below that goal line. And you get a little bit of help by Dubinsky as well. Great second effort by both those players.
Across the line. We'll watch here. Will Luongo make his way out of the net for a 6th skater for Florida? Brad Boyd joining the group behind the net, but the Jackets walk away, and it's Letestu, left wing feed. McKenzie chips ahead. Well, 1:49 remaining, and our next telecast will come sometime this week. Yet to be determined first round opponent and the start of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Fox Sports Ohio will be with you throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs. The first round begins sometime this week. Check your local listings for time and opponent. Trop can't get a stick on it. This will be icing. 1:41 left.
That's a set play. You win that face-off, and again, you rim it. You hope your winger gets an opportunity to get to those boards. That has to be automatic right away. Get there so you're able to chip it out into the neutral zone.
James Wisniewski just reminded Corey Trop of that.
Great communication by the core.
Well, Wisniewski's certainly no stranger to that type of play, and as a veteran, I guess, Jody, you want to let those young guys know.
Well, James wants to get off. He's tired, so he's like, you know what? Get over there quicker. Good accountability by the teammates to each other.
Tootin on to Boone Jenner. Luongo making his way out of the net. Goodbranson, nice play there to save it at the line. Fires a shot, stick to side. Goodbranson tosses it back into the slot. The net is empty. There's Como sending it to center. Upshaw. Cross ice for Kulikov. Drills it in. And called in the offside with 1:03 left. Luongo may, in fact, have to go back into the net here with a face-off outside the zone. And he hears from Horacek here right now. Discussion going on. He points to the net, so Luongo's going to make his way back out.
You know, one point that you take with this hockey team, they played all year without a captain. And it's been a core group that have been part of it. When you look at the Hortons, you look at the Folignos, you look at the Johnsons, the Wisniewskis, it is a core group that have done an outstanding job of putting this and keeping this team together.
Final minute of play. Campbell, far side for Kulikov. Boys to the Jackets line. Wisniewski sends it ahead. Matt Calvert thwarted at that Florida line. Luongo at the hash mark now has to retreat as the Jackets dump it back. Campbell in control. Luongo heads off. Bergenheim plays it off the wall in the left wing. Looks cross ice. Jack Johnson was able to steer it away after the Jackets. Bobrovsky got just enough of it. And here, Campbell back to retrieve the puck. With smooth skating. Florida defenseman now. Skates to center. Dishes. Onto that right wing. Bjugstad tossing it behind the Columbus net. Pressure coming. Boyes is there, lifting the stick of Jack Johnson. Tossed from the goal line. Campbell in front. McKenzie tripped up and losing the puck. No call there. It's Kulikov. Down to 2. 1. Hammer down the ice. The Blue Jackets know their opponent. The Jackets will go to the playoffs for the second time in franchise history, and it will be one of their closest rivals. The Blue Jackets will face the Pittsburgh Penguins, having clinched the #1 wild card seed, and the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs will be determined either later tonight or Monday morning. The matchup has been set. The Blue Jackets and the Penguins will meet for the first time in the postseason in Blue Jackets history. Sergei Bobrovsky turning aside 33 of 35 shots. Again, Ryan Johansson with that dramatic game-winning goal. And the Blue Jackets prevail